right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. What's going on, family? What's going on, family? Welcome to Purpose Talks. In the major shout out, real quick, to Behold Hidden Bridges and the Collective 706 for creating this space for like minded creatives like yourselves to grow as we bridge the gap between our voice and our audience. If you hear any other cute little noises in the background, that is my 2 year old who is currently still at home with me. Can we get excited? Come on, somebody. But again, you guys, welcome to Purpose Talks. And this is a part of the Millennial Business Talks. If you have not already gone to the Collective 706 website, I encourage you to check it out where you will continue to be informed on all things Behold Hidden Bridges and what we have going on for the month. So all this month we're talking about Millennial Business Talks. But today specifically, we're talking about purpose and how purpose talks. So, yes. Do you want to say hi? Say purpose talks. Thank you. All right. That's the 2 year old. I believe that one day I'll be able to transfer my podcast platform over to her. But I'm also the host of the Judge Your Mama podcast. We'll be going 2 years strong here on February the 12th. So I'm really excited about just celebrating being 2 years in the game and really sticking to something. Right? I don't know about you, but I've started a lot of things. And some things they stick, some things stick, and some things they don't. All right. And some things they kind of just get lost in the wind of unfinished projects. And I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Like I know my truth. I live in my truth. So can I get a witness in here? Anybody else that started a couple projects ain't finished them yet, huh? Say what now? And this is gonna be really interactive. All right. So if you have listened to my podcast or been in my podcast and made easy workshop or even taken a class with me or course with me, then you know I love talking about the three dubs. Before we talk about anything podcast related, business related, I want to know the three dubs in your life. I want to know the who, what, and the why. The who, what, and the why. And that starts with understanding you and knowing you. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today as we talk about purpose talking, because we know purpose talk. Okay. So today we're only focusing on the who. Again, there's three dubs. So that means today we talk about who, but another day we're going to talk about the what and the why. So that means you got to come back so we can talk about it, right? All right. But today we're focusing on the who, right? So the who, and if you're on your phone, open up your note app if you can, or get a little sticky note or something, because I'm going to ask a series of questions. And I really want you to think about some of the answers or some of the responses that you have, because we're going to use them in a little bit. All right. We won't be in here long. Now I sound like everybody else this week. Oh, wait a minute. Let me know in the comments if you checked into any of the sessions, the phenomenal sessions that we've had all week. Let me know. We started off the week with Miss Kenitra Moselle, and then we rolled it over and we talked about marketing and got some really great marketing online marketing strategies for our business from the solutionist, Monica Michelle. And then on Wednesday, we talked about branding with our go-to brand developer, Lanika Michelle. And then yesterday at 12:30, the lovely Glenda Dove gave us even the more marketing tips and strategies when it comes to using Facebook and Instagram ads. Were y'all in the building? Let me know. Let me know if you had any takeaways, because all of those things are important, right? And they all play a part, because we're talking about business and we're talking about building business, right? And so they all play a part in things that we need to successfully grow our business and serve others in our business. But today we want to talk about how can we grow ourselves, right? Because if we're not growing ourselves and if we're not solid on who we are, it, who we serve is not really going to matter, right? What we give to others is not going to matter if we're not clear on who we are. Because we can jack up some stuff if we're not good, right? If we're not aligned with what I believe God has called us to do, right? So let's talk about the who. So I want to know, who are you, right? Who are you? What's your name, right? Do you still use the government name your mama them gave you? Who are you? Or do you have a different name? Do you go by a different name? Regardless of where you found, it's all good, right? I just want to know who you are. Where are you from? I'm from the AUG, Augusta, Georgia, baby, all day, every day. And regardless of where I move in life and in the country and where I've been, I will always be from Augusta, Georgia. It is a part of my upbringing, who I am. So where are you from? What's something that you're always talking about? Like if I was to get on your Facebook page, what's something that you always bringing up? What you talking about? Is it drama? Is it podcasting? Is it marketing solutions? Is it encouraging other people? Is it talking about grace? What's something that you're always talking about? What makes you laugh, cry? What makes you angry? It's important to know those things, right? It's important to know those things about yourself because sometimes those things can guide you on your road to figuring out your purpose, figuring out what it is that you want to do and how you want to serve people and even who you want to serve, right? Because if you're somebody who to crack jokes and you're somebody who every time they mention a word, you're breaking out in song, hence that's me. Somebody can say anything and I can come up with a song real quick and start singing it. Some people, that's not their vibe, right? Some people that you work with, certain clients and stuff, that might not be their vibe. That might get on their nerves. That should further let you know maybe that's not the person for me, right? Their money could be good, but I got to stay true to who I am. I don't want to change what makes me authentic and set apart because maybe I'm not for you. It's important to know those things, right? So, another question, what do you enjoy doing on Sunday evenings? What's your go to thing? Do you like to chill, relax with the family, eat some snacks, go to the park? Do you enjoy planning on Sunday evenings for the week? What's your go to thing? Right? Because even knowing those little details, what you enjoy doing may spark how you create your business model, how you set up your business structure. You might say, well, I enjoy working on Sundays, but I don't really enjoy working on Fridays. So maybe my office hours or my work hours are Sunday to Thursday. It's important to know those things about you so that you can infuse you in your business so that when you blow up, because I believe everybody on here, when we really get to where we see ourselves going and our business going, there are going to be some things that cause us to question who we are. And if we're not solid on like what we don't like, how much money we want to make, how much money is just too much, and I need to question some people like motives and things, like we could lose ourselves. I always think about certain people of certain status who have acquired a certain level of fame or finances. Why do they take their lives? And I'm sure it's a combination of things, and I'm sure it's some things that we'll never fully understand. But I'm like, for some people, it's like, bruh, you got it all, son. You got it all. Like, what happened, right? And I think it shows you that there's some things that's much deeper than money, right? There's when it comes to success and experience and a part of life that we've never experienced before, right? I don't think it's always just having more money, but even having access to certain things. And sometimes, if you don't have those key reminders of who you are, the things that ground you in business, and how you don't have to build a business like somebody else, you can build a business that's unique to you. Those are the things that sustain us. All right, so we talked about the who. We asked the questions: who are we? Where are we from? What are we always talking about? What makes us laugh, cry, angry, and what do we enjoy doing on Sunday evenings? Now, I need you all to find a mirror or a space where you can see your reflection. I told you it's going to be a little interactive. Okay. And I'll even ask if some people in the room, if you would like to share just a little bit about who you are. I want you to find a mirror or a space where you can see your reflection so that you're looking at you. I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes when I have to do activities, when I have to like look at myself in the mirror or see myself, it gets a little deeper than I am ready for. But it's important that I'm able to say who I am, be good, right? Be really good with who I am, right? And who I believe I'm called to be in the earth. All right. So, does anybody want to share? Because this is Purpose Talks. And so, I kind of want to hear some voices on today. This is Purpose Talks. And Kanisha loves to call me the podcast whisperer. And so, I'm going to own that, right? I'm going to own that name because podcasting is my thing. And I'm all for pushing others to use their voice. And again, what is the whole mission of the whole Hidden Bridges? Right? It's to help us to bridge the gap between our voice and our audience. And bridging that gap is going to look like from time to time using your voice. So, anybody's face in the place would like to share just a little bit of who they are. And I'll give you a minute.
Kenitra Moselle. Here, I will say that I know that my purpose or my voice is being intentional about giving voice to things about our wellness journey that women of faith don't take ownership of because that has been part of my journey. But because I have become aware of some things that were standard for me that have not served me, I want to make spaces for other women to have this conversation. I know I'm not the only one. However, having the level of transparency or the vulnerability to say, this used to be me, and I want to talk with you because I know that this part of me probably also is living on the inside of you. And it doesn't need to reside in that permanently or forever. Or, we all have a time or season when certain things come to the surface. But there's a type of expediency in this season we're in. And we need to get ourselves together and do our wellness work. Very clear that a part of my purpose is to use my voice to help women of faith have a voice about their wellness journeys. I yield the mic.
I love that. I love that. Thank you for that. And I forgot to shout out Jamaica. Jamaica's in the room. Shout out to Lady J Speaks. Jamaica, is there anything you would like to share as far as who you are?
What's up, everybody? So you asked a lot. Like, if I had to, it's a lot to unpack. But being a little dark skinned girl from a little small town called Thompson, Georgia, I feel like definitely plays a part in who I am now and how it developed my perspective on wanting more, growing up in a place where all I saw was little, and revisiting and can still see people in the same state that they were probably when I graduated high school. So, my upbringing, living in a single parent household with a mother with one stream of income being disability, just not having a lot. So, I do believe that it is a strategic plan by God to use my voice to encourage those that may have grew up or been in an environment that catered to poverty, but being able to embrace God actually positioning us to be a conduit of wealth, and that is not just limited to income, but as Kanisha Moselle said, spiritually healthy, emotionally health. Like I said, just that one that could expound, because my mom, living in a household with a mother who was clinically diagnosed with schizophrenia and mental disorders, living in a household with all girls who I've watched, and that's my siblings, go through domestic violence, go through battery, go through overdoses, just a lot. So just the upbringing alone, I could go on, but I'll just say I know that that plays a part in what I'm not, what I won't settle for, areas that I won't compromise, and then strategic areas to pray concerning my own girls, what they won't do, what they will not have to deal with, and what my objective as a mother to block, if all possible, they just won't struggle in certain areas because of the setups that we're doing now. I'll just say with that one, she said voice. I believe that there is, I think if anybody know me, they'll say writer, and I don't try to make it watered down or light. But I just think there's something beautiful about the way that God can give us words to articulate an emotion that we may not even fully know how we're experiencing, but we can bring healing to somebody else in the room, or a change of whole mindset just by the way we strategically place our words in an atmosphere at the right time. So you giving them the right words in the right place and the right time almost weighs the same as a minister or a pastor or a doctor or a teacher, depending on where you are. So I love the power in the words, and I know that that's part of my gift. So I'll yield the mic.
Thank you for that. All right, family. So don't forget the activity. And let me catch some people up who just joined. Then this is Purpose Talks. And all month we've been talking about millennial business talks in the Behold Hidden Bridges house room. I gotta figure out the Clubhouse lingo. But we've been talking about one of the three doves, right? One of the three doves, and that's the who. And we asked a series of questions about who we are and how it's very important to get solid on who we are, because it not only impacts us, but it impacts our business. And we want to grow successful, flourishing, intentional businesses that are true to us. It's important to know who we are. And it's important to know what we're about, right? And so I ask in this activity that you find a mirror or a space where you can see your beautiful reflection and you say out loud who you are, right? See the response in your body. Allow yourself to really get real with you for a second. Don't worry about nobody else, but to get real with you. All right. So maybe you don't have time to do it now. That's okay, because you're at work. Get in the coin, do it, boo. But when you get some time today or this weekend, make some time with just you, yourself, and you in the mirror. So the next point, the last point I want us to make in this activity, as we've talked about who we are, is just like we do assessments. And Monica Michelle, the solutionist, talked about it so well in her talk this week on doing assessments in your business and how important it is to see where you are. Look at the numbers. It, the efforts that you're putting out to generate leads, is it giving you the return on your investment that you're looking for? So every couple months, businesses, it should be anyway, doing assessments on, okay, the money that I'm putting into this business, is it giving me the return that I'm looking for? Is it performing? Are we growing at the race? Am I meeting the goals that I set out to do? We should do the same thing in our personal lives. We should be taking time. Some people do it daily, and that's what's up. Some people, sometimes we forget about ourselves. But today, I want us to set a goal to check back in with ourselves, right? In 3 months. This is the goal. Pick a date. All right. To pick a date 3 months from now, any date, just 3 months from now, to check back in with yourself and to ask yourself these same questions. Angel, who are you in this season? Well, we know where you're from. You're gonna always be where you're from, but what are you talking about now? Is there something that you've discovered about yourself that you enjoy? Maybe now you enjoy painting, which I do. But it could evolve. For you, it could be different. Maybe it's learning something else in your field or your area of expertise, because that even plays a part when it comes down to niching down, or some people say niching down. That plays a part too, right? As we are continuing to discover our uniqueness and who we're called to, it's good to check in and say, what interests you? Not what interest does the industry have? Because I mean, that's cool and it plays a part for sure, but you need to know you, right? We can't be following the trends of the world at every turn of the hat, because they be all over the place sometimes, okay? They be all over. But you and what resonates with you, sometimes those things change, and that's okay. And so that's why it's good to check in on at least a quarterly basis, or even if it's once a year, right? It's not for me to put pressure on you, but it's to say, how do you want to show up for yourself this year? Understanding, come on, somebody, that purpose talks, right? Whether, what did I say in the beginning? Purpose talks, whether you're using your voice or not, you're saying something. Your body language is saying something. So whether you're doing what it is that you enjoy doing or not, your body language is speaking to whatever is going on in the space, right? So purpose is talking, whether we're listening, whether we're using our voice or not. Our bodies are saying something to us, right? The more we fail to show up for ourselves, our bodies will tend to tell us, right, over time. So take some time today to set a goal, mark it on your calendar. Everybody got their phones in their hands, or they're in front of a computer. Pull up your calendar, go ahead and pick a date. 3 months from now, my date is April the 13th. That's on a Thursday. I'm going to check back in with myself and ask myself these same questions, and maybe even a few more. Angel, what do you enjoy doing right now in this season? What are some things in your business that you're not really a fan of? That could be an indicator I need to outsource. Come on, somebody. Or what are the things that I love doing? Maybe I need to do more of that, right? If I was a photographer and I wasn't enjoying editing no more, okay, how can I hire somebody to handle the editing? That frees up my time to focus in on more of the things that I want to do. All right. We've been talking about purpose talks. We've been talking about who and getting solid on who we are. I was writing this down last night. I was like, we really don't know how ignorant we gonna act once we acquire a certain level of success. Like, we don't know how we really gonna act once we hit the first meal. I don't know if anybody else has hit their first meal yet in business. I have not yet. But the trajectory in which I'm planning, I'm looking forward to, it will happen, no doubt. But I want to be so solid on who I am. I want to be so solid on who I am and who God is calling me to be before I even get there. Because I don't want to get there and lose it. Come on. Either way, I am done. That is it. Be sure to catch the replay. If you missed anything, we have talks going on all month. We'll be talking about millennial business talks. To visit thecollective706.com to see what's coming up this month or for the week ahead. Again, if you have not checked out the Judge Your Mama podcast, we on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the places. They say wherever you get your podcast from. Whatever platforms you use, that's where we be at, okay? Until then, I will see y'all later. Peace.